Welcome. What story shall I share with you today? Please close your eyes quietly, listen carefully, and immerse yourself in our tale. Today's story is about a man who lives alone on the outskirts of a village. His face is scarred, and he wears a prosthetic leg, leading the villagers to call him a monster. Shall we delve into it together? It's titled, The Real Monster in Town. On the outskirts of a village, there lived a man who was a bit of a loner. He didn't mingle with others and always quietly tended to his farm alone. The villagers were scared of him because his face was scarred and he had a prosthetic leg. The children in the village even called him a monster, but he never paid any attention to it. One day, as usual, the man left his house at dawn and headed to his fields. Along the way, he spotted a boy, which was unusual in such a secluded area. He passed by without a second thought. But when the boy recognized him, he ran away in surprise, only to trip over a rock and fall. Ouch! The boy's knee was bleeding. The man approached the fallen boy. "I'm sorry," the boy blurted out in fear. The man silently offered his handkerchief to the boy. Hesitantly, the boy accepted it. After the boy took the handkerchief, the man turned around and went back to his field. The boy watched him go, puzzled. Later, the boy came to return the handkerchief and found the man having lunch. Without a word, the man shared his meal with the boy. During the meal, the boy peeked at the man and asked cautiously, "Sir, are you mute?" "No," the man replied, to the boy's surprise. "Why are you always alone?" "Aren't you lonely?" "I'm not lonely. I just don't feel the need to mingle with others. I feel lonely sometimes." The boy looked puzzled, but then had an idea. "Oh, then I'll be your friend. Is that okay?" The man intended to refuse, as he preferred being alone. But seeing the boy's face, he couldn't bring himself to reject the offer. "Suit yourself." "Yay!" The man reluctantly agreed, and the boy was overjoyed. From that day on, the boy visited the man daily. Though the man found the boy somewhat annoying, he didn't mind too much. Regardless of the man's feelings, the boy spent all day chatting before going home. The people in the village are strange. Why are they so interested in others' affairs? Do you know? The villagers say you're a strange person. Doesn't that make you angry? They stick together and treat others like fools. Then, suddenly, the boy stopped coming. The man felt a slight emptiness, but he didn't think much of it, assuming the boy had lost interest. However, a few days later, the boy reappeared, looking disheveled. "Sir, it's been a while. What happened to your face?" "It's nothing. I just fell down. You know how clumsy I am." The boy claimed to have fallen, but the injuries didn't look like those from a fall. However, the man didn't probe further and simply tended to the boy's wounds. After that day, the boy's visits became less frequent, and he was always injured when he did come. Concerned, the man couldn't ignore it anymore. He went to the only person he talked to in the village, the grocer. "Is it time to sell your crops already?" The grocer assumed the man was there for business as usual, but the man shook his head and asked about the boy. "Ha! Who would have thought you'd take an interest in someone else?" The grocer laughed, then told him about the boy. In the village, that boy is recognized as a braggart and is frequently disregarded. He couldn't stand it and recently declared he would investigate the village's monster. The monster was, of course, the man. The man now understood why the boy was there that dawn and why he visited so frequently. The man was startled. He didn't expect to feel this disappointment. He realized he had opened his heart to the boy. Seeing the man's troubled face, the grocer smiled. "No need to be disappointed. I'm not sure when you two became so close, but that boy genuinely likes you." According to the grocer, the boy had been telling people in the village that the man was not a scary person but a kind one. Definitely not a monster. Unfortunately, the boy has made many mistakes, so no one believed him. Eventually, the boy had conflicts and even fights with others. Now, understanding why the boy often came to him hurt, the man knew he had to change. "Can you help me?" he asked the grocer. Sometime later, a feast was held in the village. "What's going on?" The grocer arranged it. "Where did he get the money for this?" "I have no idea." The villagers were puzzled by the sudden feast, but the grocer casually mentioned, "Just enjoy it. It's been a while since we had a feast, right?" As the villagers started to enjoy the festivities, the boy thought of the man and began to gather some food for him. Then, surprisingly, the man, who had never attended a village feast, showed up. "What's he doing here? Did he come to complain about the noise? Scary! Monster! Go back to where you belong." As the man appeared, rumors spread, and children openly treated him like a monster. The boy stepped forward. "He's not a monster." "Don't call him that without knowing him." The man approached the defending boy and gently patted his head. "Everyone, what are you doing? Host of the feast is here, so let's show some gratitude." The grocer stepped forward, surprising the villagers who had no idea the man was the host of the feast. "I am a retired soldier. I lost my leg in the war." The man had returned to his hometown after his military service, but couldn't mingle with the villagers as before. I realized then that I had lost not only my leg, but my ability to see people as people. He was scared that he might cause some serious trouble, and so kept his distance from people. He had no words to defend himself when called a monster, because he felt like one himself. "Sir," looking into the boy's eyes, the man smiled warmly and continued speaking to the villagers. "But this boy showed me that I am also a person." Spending time with the boy, the man felt joy, and he missed the boy on days he didn't visit. He finally realized he was not a monster, but a person. "I don't want to hide anymore. I want to live as a human being. Will you accept me as part of the village?" The man bowed and asked the villagers, who were shocked and unsure, having never imagined his past. Stepping in for the villagers, the grocer said, "Let's not worry about that. Let's have a drink." The grocer handed the man a cup and poured him a drink, then did the same for the other villagers. "Then let me make a toast. For our village's new resident. To that." Following the grocer's toast, the villagers drank, and the man was accepted as one of them. He lived happily among them, and the boy stopped lying. How was the story today? Have you already fallen asleep? If so, I hope you have sweet dreams. This has been the first Dreamtime story for children and adults in need of healing, The Real Monster in Town. Thank you.